Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YINZER Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We are the YINZER Bros. As you can see, Tim is donning the Italians Franco Army helmet because the Steelers once again were victorious. They beat the Ravens in a crazy game, 13-16. All this crazy stuff happened to propel our Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs. Tim, and I will be talking about not just that game and all the playoff craziness, but also the Steelers and the Chiefs matchup coming up. First, let's talk about the Ravens game. Tim, wow. It wasn't pretty, but man, Ben still, he has it when he needs it, doesn't he?
Did that game just seem like it was like the whole game was being played underwater or something? Like it was just like blah blah. And I mean,
it was slow and it was rough. I don't know if part of it was the weather too. They said the rain was nasty and all that stuff. Didn't really hurt the.
I think there's just two crappy football teams playing. That's what I think it is.
Right. You know what? It's funny too because when you look at like the AFC North, the two big teams that were predicted to do anything were the Ravens and the Browns. Looky.
Just hate to see it.
It wasn't pretty, but it was a win for us. Tim, what were your initial thoughts about the game?
My initial thoughts were, TJ, I don't know how they won that game. I don't know how they won that game, truthfully. It was like they didn't play great on either side of the ball. I don't think they did. I just think, I think turnovers. I mean, it was a turnover game.
Three turnovers.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley, I said it before every play. If you took the dude's first read away, people were calling saying, well, maybe he's the next Steeler quarterback.
No.
That dude sucks.
Yeah, no.
You take his first read away, he's done. Brutal. Oh, yeah,
he's done.
God.
I mean, he's got legs, I'll give you that, but he's done. Yeah, he doesn't throw a great ball either.
No, TJ, when you can't have your first read, you better have legs like Mar Jackson, where you're just like, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That dude is more like, ta-ta-ta-ta.
He's not very good. I'm with you. No, it was a brutal game. I mean, there were some good things. Let's talk about the offense first. I mean, obviously, NAJEE he goes out early on, so that kind of stymies the running game.
Oh, man, seeing Benny Snell every time he touched the ball, you're going,
no,
like you're breathing in a bag, like.
Well, I'll tell you what, you see Benny Snell run, and then you can see the difference between him and NAJEE. Holy crap, NAJEE's just a horse.
You know what, TJ, and I'm sorry, it's like night and day with 53 not in this lineup. Night and day.
It is.
Night and day.
Yeah, he ain't going back. He's done. He ain't going back to center. Yeah, did you hear what Ben said too? Ben said, hey, he'll be a great guard in this league someday. I think everybody knows. Just put him somewhere. Just get him out of there.
TJ, he won't be a good guard either. TJ. He's not good at football.
You're not a fan.
TJ, there comes a point in time where, everybody 70s drafts, he gets this mean streak. TJ, I could have the meanest streak on the planet, but guess what? There's always going to be a guy bigger than me, better than me, stronger than me. He's going to punch me in the face. And guess what? That's what's happening every time. He could be the meanest little bulldog in the world. Guess what? The big Labrador's just sitting on him, just going,
Yeah, I get hit. I've never seen a lineman get thrown so many times for 8-10 yards in the backfield. It's pretty ridiculous. So what do you think about the offense? Obviously, Ben did not have the greatest day. He was 30 for 44, almost 250 yards, a TD and an interception. But I mean, when he needed it, golly, he had it, man. He had that one pass to Freiermuth was ridiculous on the corner.
That was a dime.
And then your guy, Ray, he hits him on a 4th and 8, keeps the drive going, keeps the season going.
I get it, but dude, the offense is circled around Ray McLeod. Just think about that. I mean,
bad.
The dude gets like 15 targets a game.
It's bad.
It's insane.
It's bad.
I mean, it's insane. Anthony Miller, who's on their practice squad, was like a 2nd-round pick. That tells me that dude must really suck if he can't get the ball over Ray. He can't even see a helmet.
I know. It's crazy. They got that. And I got to say this too, man. NAJEE came back, and the few plays that he came back with, man, late in the game, he just, I mean, he had one that was just ridiculous. That one little catch, that one-handed catch, and then he just zips around that end. Holy
Just
cow!
TJ, just think about how bad Benny Snell is when Najee Harris, one armed, is like 90% better than him. TJ, he couldn't. Did you see him? He's going like this with his arm, like you could tell. Like, he couldn't do it, and he made Benny Snell. He looked like Jim Brown compared to Benny Snell with one arm.
He did. Have you heard? Is he pretty good? What's his elbow like?
He hasn't practiced. He hasn't practiced. Knowing that, dude, I don't know, TJ. If he doesn't play, the 3% chance that we have goes down to like it officially goes down to zero.
Well, let's hope he gets back in. I tell you what, who else came in big too? I mean, you get to see again. You're starting to see a chemistry with Freiermuth, man. He is, he's clutch, man. Holy cow, is he clutch? He looked good, and again, Ben. I mean, his hands. Last drive of the game. There aren't many other QBs you want to put the ball in their hands more than Ben. Boy, he looked so good. Holy cow! Did you feel it? Did you know it, or did you think he was gonna? I mean, Tim, what were you feeling in that last? You had that 4th and 8. What were you feeling in that 4th and 8?
TJ, I didn't think there was a God's green chance, a beautiful green earth, they were going to get that 4th and 8. I'm going, this is how it's going to end right here. And I mean, there wasn't a good pass. Ray made a good catch. It wasn't a good pass. No. He grabbed a shoot. I mean, every clutch moment you're throwing to Ray McLeod, it just makes you want to just throw up. Ray. Oh my. No, I mean, he looked good. It bewilders me that any team in the NFL, TJ, they don't throw when it's 4th and 8. They're gonna throw 3 yards in front of the sticks. So why are you? I don't understand why the Ravens just didn't have their heels at 8 yards, and that's it. Just have your heels at 8 yards, and
they're just not a good football team, Tim. So let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts about? I mean, let's talk about Harbaugh now. The man. I mean,
TJ, it's tough to look at, dude. But you had 2 ridiculous. Steelers should have lost that game multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest play of the whole entire game had nothing to do with Harbaugh. It was a dime. It was just a ridiculous play by Micah Fitzpatrick. That ball that he punched out of that Hollywood, he catches that game. It's over. The game's over. It's over. So it's tough when you're working with TJ. He didn't have Jackson for 5 games.
Yeah, but how many games did they lose because he went for the 2-point conversion, didn't get it?
I don't disagree with you, but that team was
If
decimated.
Tomlin does that, aren't they running him out of town if Tomlin does that?
It's different. I think it's different because that team was decimated by injury. You thought we had it bad by injury? That team was decimated by injury.
Well, I get that, but we had our share too. We lost JUJU Smith-Schuster. We lost 2 of our starting defensive tackles, a guy that would be almost considered all pro.
TJ, they lost almost like 20 starters from their team.
I get it, but that seems to be their MO every year. I don't understand it.
That team was beat up. And you're not playing. TJ, I'm sorry, if Lamar Jackson's playing that game, we don't win.
I don't know. We seem to do pretty well with Lamar Jackson, and I mean we seem to handle him pretty well.
We don't win that game. I'm pretty confident to say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a toss up. I think he. Again, do you see Lamar? Do you think Lamar is capable of throwing 2 TDs? Is he capable, or two interceptions? Is he capable of putting the ball on the ground? I think he is.
Not like that. That INT he threw in the end zone was absolutely brutal.
Yeah. I know this for Lamar. When the chips are on the table, he is yet to prove that he doesn't fold. I think the pressure's too high. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Let's talk about the Steeler defense. I mean, we were not that good. Obviously, Watt got the sack, record, which was great. Did the NFL reverse that thing or no? Did you hear?
No, they did not.
Ridiculous.
I agree.
Oh well. I mean, they gave up 150 yards to whatchamacallit, to Murray, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't get the run. Was this the first game Devin Bush? Was this the first game Devin Bush was back?
He wasn't here last week. Yeah, he was on the protocol last week.
You find it weird, like they were like actually containing the run a little bit the past 2 weeks, and Devin Bush shows up and they're getting gashed for 200 yards again.
They need an inside linebacker. Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
need some horses up front and an inside linebacker.
That to me gets that run defense is just that's atrocious, dude. They're
It
so
is.
bad.
It's bad. I agree. I agree. I mean, other than that, I got to tell you this. You know who doesn't look half bad is our
I
defensive
know.
backfield.
I know. I'll tell you, with Joe Hayden in there, it's like night and day with the defensive backfield because I think he sets a lot of the communication stuff back there.
Yeah.
Just even the little that he, because I think he didn't play a bunch. Like even Spot being in there, it's like night and
Oh
day,
yeah.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my 34's been playing.
He has.
He's been playing okay ball, dude.
You think they pick up his? You think they bring him back?
I think he's priced himself out.
He may have. He may have.
So I don't know.
Oh well, we came up with the win, which is good, and we thought. I mean, for the weekend, we knew that the Jags had to win. I don't understand this. I don't understand why they made the Jags beating the Colts the greatest thing since the second coming of Christ. I mean, they were. I actually heard guys. I
The
heard
Colts beat a
guys.
lot of good teams.
Well, I hear you, but I heard guys nationally say that it would be one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. That's absolutely ridiculous to me, because we know this: the quarterback for the Colts, I
He's a
think,
dumpster fire.
is the ultimate double agent, Carson Wentz. They saw him here in Philly, and we know this too. Jacksonville is known to be able to beat teams. They're spoilers. They beat a couple of decent teams this year. Why is it one of the greatest wins in NFL history if they win? So lo and behold, the Jags win.
Yeah.
Everything's good for us. All we need is to have not a tie. And then lo and behold, just like Steeler football, the
TJ,
Steelers aren't even playing, and they're still giving us heart attacks. We got to wait to the last minute to figure out if we're in the playoffs or not.
TJ, the mush he went to number one on the list because of that, the whole thing. TJ, and it sucks because you're watching that game at night, and you ever see the GIF of what's the movie with where they go to Vegas, Hangover?
Yeah.
When he's counting cards in Vegas and all the numbers are going through his head, blah, blah, blah. That's what it felt like watching that whole entire game. You're going, well, if they got 9, you're in good shape. And if they got this, so I'm thinking they got the 12, I'm going, okay, we're
12
good
was
to
good
go.
for us. 12 was good.
And then,
That 15 wasn't so good.
And then they get to 15, I'm going, oh man. I was like, okay, good. And it gets down to about, the Chargers start driving. TJ, I haven't heard anything from Mush for like the past 2 weeks, basically. Nothing. Maybe a text after the game. Nothing. It's been quiet. And the Steelers have been winning. I'm like, okay. TJ, I get a text at 10:17. You know what happened at 10:18?
What happened, Tim?
That's when the Chargers were down by 15 with about 4 minutes to go in the game, and they had the 4th and 21 from the goal. That's what they had to score touchdowns, 4th and 21. Next play, Herbert, 4th and 21, touchdown. 2-point conversion, good. Raiders go down, get stalled. Chargers go down, score tied. I'm sitting there going, Mush, you, TJ, I can't read what I have in my text string to the Mush on this podcast because we've never.
It's a family podcast, Tim. It's a family podcast.
We've never able to have it again. It was the closest I ever came to getting in my car and burning it. If they would have lost that game, or tied it, I would have driven to his house and probably burned it down to the ground. I would have burned his house down to the ground. And he gives me this after the Chargers score with no time to tie it up. He goes, oh, don't worry. The Raiders will kick a field goal with like under 2 minutes to win the game. And by that time, I had to shift rooms in my house because my big TV is too close to where my daughter's room is, like right below it. So I'm in the other room. And TJ, I'm an inch away from the TV on the wall like this. No shirt. I'm taking clothes off, going, oh no. And then to hear Chris Collinsworth every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Al.
He was pushing for that tie. Wasn't he pushing for that tie?
I was like, this dude's about to get fist of fury from Timoteo. I'm online. I had no shirt on, no socks on. I was about to take off my pants. And I was so close to taking my pants. And then I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they're running this out. And then right when I was ready to start taking my pants off, they called the timeout.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
go,
God for the Chargers, huh?
my back was my back was to the TV, and I go, did they just say timeout? I took a timeout. TJ, I took my pants off, so I'm sitting there in my underwear, and TJ, I'm an I'm an inch away. Oh, what happened to my? I'm an inch away from my TV, and I got no pants on, besides my boxers, hairy belly, hairy back, everything. Just
That's not a good mental picture, Tim.
and all I could think of was, dude, if they miss this field goal, it's gonna look really bad because I'm actually gonna run through the glass window of my house, and I'm gonna be running through the neighborhood with just underwear like a big Yeti, and people are gonna be like, "What's going on over there?" All you're gonna see is like the ring door
That's
cameras
right. Just
when it goes
your
off.
image on the rings.
They're just all you're gonna see is like, "Hey, did you see the big Yeti? Did you see that big furry thing running 3 yards?"
Tim, let's be real. How many yards do you think you'd get before you'd have to slow down?
My guess is my window has a little bit of a jump. I would have caught my knee on the windowsill, flipped over, and knowing my luck, I probably would have went down. What's the the wells that you have, like the plastic going over? I probably would have cracked on that plastic, and I would have head first down the well.
Probably. So they kicked the field goal. How did you feel after they kicked the field goal, Tim?
It felt like my adrenaline was like at a TJ. I could have picked up a car. I was like,
I was excited too. It was amazing.
TJ, and this was like, I already took my sleepy pill to go to sleep. That it didn't even. I could have took another 3, and I knew I was like, this is gonna be an all nighter for me because I'm gonna sit there and I'm just gonna be like staring at the walls. I'm gonna go into the living room, take some of my daughter's toys, set up a fake field goal, so I'm kicking them, like just kicking stuffed animals. Yeah.
Did you hear that? They asked Tomo what he thought of it. He said he fell asleep before the end of the.
TJ, there's no way Michael Tomlin fell asleep in that game. There's no way.
Hey, did you see? It was interesting. Did you see who Ben Roethlisberger was watching the end of the game with?
Yeah, but things drove me nuts. Was like, you gotta have some sound to that clip, man.
I know. I don't know why there was, but that was Toby Mack, and that was the other dude from Mercy Me. That's interesting, man. He's watching. So he was trying to bring in the God quota.
Did you see after that happened? He went and when he put the Raider helmet on.
No, what did he say?
After they kicked the field goal, they're still talking. He went and grabbed I don't know, down his base, probably got 1,000 helmets that were signed. It was a Raider helmet, and he puts it on, and it's like his face. It's TJ. It would be like me. Remember those old plastic helmets with the one thing? It'd be like me putting it on now. Like all you saw was his big fat face like this.
That's awesome. I love it. Oh gee, it was a crazy weekend of football. I don't remember ever having that intensive a weekend of football, but we got in improbable. We got in. It was crazy. So I don't know. Kudos to the Steelers.
TJ, it was the worst. TJ, I was worse watching the Raider game than I was watching the Steeler game.
I'm with you because I think there was more chips on the table, man. We knew that was the first thing we had to get done anyway. I was starting to feel a little bit more anxiety as you saw, the Jags starting to pull away from the from the Colts. You're like, man, what is going on here? And then I didn't even think. To me, the Raider game, it was an afterthought. I'll tell you what, that Herbert, he's a heck of a QB.
Yeah, you think? And he's surrounded by a bunch. That team's a bunch of bumlets he's got around him, dude. You kidding me?
I know. Have you ever thought about the Chargers? These are their last 3 QBs that they've had: Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Herbert.
TJ,
That's pretty good drafting of QBs, don't you think?
I would give my left testicle for that kid to be a Steelers quarterback, dude.
He would be great. I don't think we're going to see him, Tim.
He would be spitting seeds all over Heinz Field.
And think about this. I was watching this today. Miami chose Tua over him.
Miami, that dumpster fire every team. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe they fired Flores. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
It's crazy. Well, that was the weekend. Before we start talking about the Chiefs, let's open up the YINZER mailbag. What's the YINZER mailbag? It's when you, the fans, get to ask us any question you want. If you got a question for the YINZER Bros, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. And if you're lucky enough, perhaps your question will be read on this national podcast. Actually, it's international because we have one listener in Greece. So think about that, Tim. So what do we got in the
So
Yinzer
this
mailbag, Tim?
so this kind of interesting because we did get a immediate something from the Yinzer mailbag right after that Raider game from the Mush
Oh wow!
because he knew that I
What did
was
we
on.
get?
He knew that I was on Planet 47, man.
But by the way, I have to make a confession to you, Tim. I did ask Melissa. I had a feeling you'd be taking clothes off. I said, "Can you snap a picture of Tim for me?" And she said, "No, he's in the other room."
Yeah, I had to go in the other room because I thought like my father-in-law was here, and like I thought like when he was in the room, like he left the room, that's when the Steelers scored a touchdown. They were doing good, and then when he came back, that's when Baltimore kicked the field goal to tie it. Like I just kept going, he's in the room. It's his fault. So I had to leave to go. That's how big of a teacher. That's how big of a head case I am. I was like, I'm gonna go in the other room and watch the game. That's what I did.
I get it.
So no, yeah, I'm an idiot. My brain's the size of a peanut. So again, this was kind of right after the game. He said, "Hey, what was more nerve wracking, the Steeler win or the Raider game?" We kind of
Raiders
discussed that. Yeah, definitely. He did ask how many different positions did each of you have to squeeze out the Steeler win and or the Raider field goal in OT.
I was like you. I was in more discomfort with the Raiders than I was with the Steeler game. The Steeler game, I was there the whole time. I was fine. It was that Raider game that did me in, man.
I was fully clothed during the Steeler game, but I was an inch away from the TV in the other room, like standing there looking at it. That was about it. But like the Raider game, TJ, I was an inch away from just being in a nude, just standing there, just.
Oh, that's we all lose then, Tim. We all lose.
It would have been bad, man. He goes, okay, the Chiefs have been beatable this year. What has to happen for the Steelers to win?
What has to happen for the Steelers to win? Well, I mean, obviously we're going to need turnovers. So we're going to the Chiefs are going to have to be loose with the ball. I think if we get a chance to win, they're going to have to turn the ball over at least 3 times, maybe two, maybe two pulls it off. And their defense is going to have to be. You can't outscore them, so you're just going to have to hope that somehow we can have some long ball controlled, time controlled drives, and we just keep Mahomes off the field when he gets on it. We got to turn 3 turnovers into points. That's my formula. What's your formula?
You got a direct line to the big guy behind me, right? Right there, the big guy behind me. Now, in all reality, TJ, what they have to do is, and I'll get into it more when we get to kind of the keys of the game. They gotta hit some splash plays, some deep passes. They do. Fishy. Let's call him when a fish comes out and he's flopping on the pier or whatever. If you catch a fish, that's what Claypool is. He needs to stop doing that and just catch the ball.
He doesn't run good routes either. His routes are very messy. I'm watching his routes. He's just very messy.
TJ, he's not very good.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I think he's got to be more disciplined. I think he's used to just being big enough to manhandle people.
Why do people fight me on my first initial thoughts of Claypool? I said it. I didn't think he was going to be very good, and he's not.
I think he'll be okay.
Man. No, I don't think he will. I think he's going to be them guys who be like, oh, this dude look at him, like Linus Swede. You're like, this guy had everything you think of, and he just, you're always waiting. Like, you're going to wait, like, year 4, but like, this is the year I think he's going to explode, and he's just getting, this is it. This is what you see is what you get.
Yeah, maybe.
It's Notre Dame. It's what it is. It's what happens. It's why they could beat Alabama or Georgia or Clemson or anybody good.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. How many points do the Steelers need to score to win the game? We'll save that for later because I think we'll save that for later. All right. Of course, his final question is, how many throws does the big fella have left in the arm?
Well, he threw 44 times this last week. So
I said between 95 and I think I said between 90 and 100. That was my kind of thing. So he got he got to like close to 100, right? Because he threw for 40. Yeah, he threw 45 last game too.
Yeah, he had about 90 is where he was at. So I think this. I mean, he's going to throw for that again too. It would not surprise me to see Ben throw between 40 to 50 times. I think it depends if you have Najee back. If Najee's back,
TJ, if Najee's not there, they should just flex this game out.
Put on a WNBA game, huh?
Do something, man. Oh boy, loy, loy, loy. Okay. Where does Sunday's win rank among Ben's best winning game drives?
I tell you what, it was. I think I put it right behind.
Oh
Just
man, TJ,
knowing,
there's a lot of game winning drives
there
better
are.
than
I
that
mean,
crap.
I think the best one still has to be the Arizona Super Bowl one. I mean, that's still the best.
You think? You think?
I think it's in the top five, given what Ben had to work with, and I mean, that 4th and 8 is a
TJ,
big deal.
I can't put any of those. I can't put that in my top five when Ray McLeod's the guy connecting on the other end. I just can't.
I think that
Can't
makes
do
it
it.
better for Ben. He's using a guy like Ray. I mean,
No,
of all
no,
the great
no.
receivers he's had that he's thrown the ball to, Ray's got to be the worst.
TJ, you got some huge plays. I mean, you're talking of course, Super Bowl. You're talking the one that Antonio Brown won division against the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking the playoff one where Antonio Brown caught the ball off his helmet.
Yeah. But I mean,
That's a pretty big one.
Here's the factor: Antonio Brown. I mean, we're not saying. Remember the one where Ray grabbed that ball out of the sky? I mean, now he did make a difficult catch, but it's Ray McLeod.
You got the Mike Wallace one that was in the corner of the end zone against the Packers.
Yeah,
Time
that was a good one.
expired.
Oh yeah.
There's 50 of them. So, I mean, there has to be more than just, I mean, Ray McLeod is, geez Louise.
I know it's bad. That's bad.
What if Ray gets hurt? We're screwed. Screwed.
He's our number one weapon. Oh my gosh.
Oh my. All right. Is TJ Watt a lock for defensive player? If he doesn't get defensive player of the year, they should just the award should be given just taken away.
I know. I saw Pro Football Focus. He's ranked 3rd.
That's insane.
They got two
They
guys
hate
in
the
front of him.
Steelers. They hate the
They
Steelers.
got 2 guys in front of him.
Who? Donald and Garrett?
Yeah, that's it. How on earth can you put Myles Garrett in front of him? How is that? How can you? How is that possible?
TJ, I don't know.
That's ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous. I hope he gets it. I hope
Holy
he gets
crap,
it.
that tea is 1,000 degrees. And
Is
just
it?
burned
Yeah.
everything.
I've heard a lot of people say that he's a lock, but we'll see.
I think he's a lock. I think he's a lock. One other question here. Who has been the best free agent pickup for the Steelers this year?
That's a good question. I don't know, Tim. I tell you what, I'm kind of partial to that big chunky, the big chunky center they got, or defensive nose tackle they got. He's been pretty good. Is that Adams?
Martavius, whatever is Adams.
Yeah, he's not too bad. He's a good
I'm
midseason pickup.
I'm gonna stick with the guard they got because
Yeah,
I mean he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great.
you talking about
He's
Hag?
not-
Is it or Hag? Or is that you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the
Our center,
51.
big 60.
51.
Oh,
The left guard, the guard,
Oh
the
yeah,
right guard.
the kid
left
they
guard.
got from the Chargers. Yeah.
I mean he hasn't been.
Yeah. I'll tell you what
Bad.
though, it's a sleeper though. That Witherspoon is pretty good. Holy cow!
No, dude. Yeah, wait. You know what? We'll see what Witherspoon's like this game, dude. When he's chasing the cheetah all around the field, and you're going.
Well, I don't know if
What?
there's going to be
TJ,
anybody.
TJ, I got a feeling his money is at an all time high right now. And if I was him, I probably wouldn't play. I'd be like, you know what? I'm hurt. I'm not playing this game. Because I got a feeling after this game, we're going to be going, that 25, remember everything we said nice about him? He stinks.
I mean, let's be real though. I mean, how many guys can stop Hill? I'll tell you what. I hope, dear Lord, who's going to stop Kelsey this game?
34 is going to be guarding him.
Sweet
I mean,
Lord.
for the love of
It
baby
comes down to
Jesus.
that, Tim. It comes down to that.
Here's okay. Well, we get into the whole thing, the game. I don't think it's going to be. There was a lot of people missing from that game when they played last time, TJ.
There was on both sides.
I think on the Steelers side, it was worse.
I agree.
So I think when we get into the game predictions, I think there's going to be some things that you're going to see a little bit different, which Kelsey could hurt you, but I think he's not going to have time to do that. Not like last time, because you got Wormley back, and you're not going to have TJ Watt fresh off broken ribs.
That's true.
It's just not going to happen.
That's true.
Not gonna happen. That dude's about to have a game and a half, and you're gonna be going, "Oh my! Put the cape on him. Put it on him.
I hope you're right, Tim. I hope you're
No,
right.
put it on him. Seriously, he's gonna come down. he's gonna have one of the Watt brother capes, and he's gonna start glowing. You're gonna be like, "Holy crap, this dude is coming!"
I hope you're right.
All right, Steelers activated Juju today, which that came out of nowhere.
It did.
Didn't activate him, but he started practicing. But he's still on the IR.
Yeah.
Any chances he'll play Sunday?
Well, I don't know.
TJ, I had that. I kind of had that surgery that he had, a little bit of it. TJ, I was a vegetable for like 3 months. I couldn't even. It took me 3 months to get off the pain meds to just be like, oh yeah.
Well, let's just be real. You're a little bit older, and perhaps Juju might be in a little bit better shape than you're in, Tim.
I get it, TJ, but I wasn't going to be banging against grown men playing. I mean,
well, when did he have it? Did he have it? When did he hurt it? It was early.
It was October, though. It was October, like week 5.
Week 5. I thought it was earlier.
I think it was October 15th.
Oh, wow.
November, December. TJ, you're talking 3 months. TJ, again, I was.
Yeah.
Put it this way, Melissa was still driving me to stinking doctor's appointments and stuff like, hey, I was like,
So do you think he's healed?
No, I don't think he's healed. In my back of my mind, it's like, why would they even have him practice? I just don't get it.
He's got to be good to go.
I don't think he's good to go. I think it's one of those things where in the back of your mind, if you're Tomlin and you're the Steelers, even if he is hurt, there's no way he's playing. Yeah. No way. What's it going to hurt throwing him out there to practice so the other team has to prepare for him?
Yeah,
just in case.
That's true.
So I'm thinking about that way, but then I'm also thinking about, Tomlin's never done anything really like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers don't do anything really like that.
Yeah.
I think if he's hurt, and maybe he is good, and maybe he can give you 15, 20 snaps. If he can get you 15, 20 snaps in critical moments of the game, I mean, you're talking him catching the ball, not Ray. I mean, so.
But you're right, and it gives you. I mean, he's good with blocking, and
TJ, if you got a bum left shoulder, there is no. Are you going to let him be sicking on linebackers?
No, but I think this. I don't think there's any chance of doing any of that stuff unless. I mean, here's the reality. Maybe he just healed quick. Some of these guys do. They heal quick. They're younger. They've got better technology than we have.
I saw a picture with him. He had a what's the strap? It's a harness. Mm-hmm. You have it on the. He had that on at practice. So I don't know, man. Like, I know he said back in the day that he thought if they got to the AFC title game or the Super Bowl, there's a 5% chance of him playing. It's like, way back. I just don't know, dude. I mean, that's that surgery. I get it. I'm not his age, but that is a brutal surgery, TJ.
Yeah.
I mean, and it takes my arm. It's been 10 years, and I still can't do anything with my arm.
Well, let's just be real. Your doctors were probably weren't, didn't have the same motivation that Juju's guys do.
My doctor was just thinking the doctor for the U.S. soccer team.
Well, yeah, and how often do they use their arms in soccer, Tim? I would have went for somebody like that was a pitching guy or somebody that chucked the ball.
The only thing that I could possibly think of is, I think my at the time I was like, my work insurance is the physical therapy was running out, so I had to I was like, hey, we got to pick or choose when we're doing some physical therapy since I can't be coming here every week. I could have played into it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Tim, it could be your genes too. Maybe we just. I mean, we did. I don't think we had the greatest genes, Tim.
No. Be factoids. Those are facts. It's like it should be across the ticker of this podcast. Harris genes stink. Harris genes stink. Harris genes stink.
I mean, from the bodies to the teeth to the hair, Tim. I mean, let's just be real. We didn't get a lot of stuff, Tim. I mean, I got the hair, which is okay, but
I mean, I've been doing everything in my powers to keep these teeth fairly white and pearly. I'm brushing them.
That's okay, Tim. It'll get you. Don't worry.
I know.
50 is coming. Don't worry.
Yikes.
Tom's coming. Don't worry. Hey, you guys. It's coming.
It's great. I can't wait. Can't wait to go to the high school function. Be like, Olivia, you brought your grandpa with you. I'll be like,
that's my dad.
Feel so
All right.
bad for
Anything
that
else?
kid.
Anything else in the Yinzer mailbag, Tim?
No, not at
Okay.
all. Got me all
Well, again,
depressed now.
if you, if you got any questions, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com and maybe we get you on our program. We'll see. Now let's talk about the Steelers and the Chiefs. Nobody's giving the Steelers a chance. I love what Ben said, being sarcastic, everybody's losing their mind. We don't have a chance. We're just going to go out and have fun. I think Ben loves the role of the underdog like that. Tim, do we have a chance?
You got a direct line to the big fella, don't you? As I said before, I mean, I think I was with you or somebody this week. Like, if you would have asked me Monday, no. But like, as each day goes on, like the percentages go from like 5 to like, I start thinking up crazy concoctions in my head, 15% and 20%. I'm at like 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
One of those factors that have to play in with Patrick Mahomes would have to catch COVID like tomorrow.
I think let's wait till he gets in. Let's get him Saturday. So he's done. There's no way he comes off.
Everything that play, like I think it's going to play through, like everything I've imagined, like this is the scenario that we can do this. He would have to catch COVID and somehow Tyreek Hill to get hit by a bus.
Could happen.
I teach Tim. Is there a chance? Sure. Do I think? Put it this way, I don't think they're going to get the spreads. I think 13.
Yeah.
They ain't getting beat by 30.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be like it was last time. I can promise you that. I don't know. You got to get a couple bounces here and there. We'll see.
Tim, let me remind you a little bit of history.
Oh, here we go. I know exactly where you're going with.
Our podcast listeners probably don't know this about our story, but you and I, when you talk about 2006, we were there when the Steelers. We actually went to Indianapolis that year. You remember this, Tim?
Yeah.
When we got drummed by the Colts. They beat the fire out of us down in Indianapolis. I still remember the fans were so nice. Remember that game?
It was a Monday night game. It was a Monday night game, yeah.
It was a Monday night game. We went down there, we stayed with a buddy, Jim Peters, and we got crushed. The fans were so nice. They were like, oh, it's okay. Maybe you'll beat us against time. And I remember that being awful. It was just terrible. And then lo and behold, it was.
That was the loudest because they were piping in sound.
They were piping. They were cheating. And then lo and behold, we get into the playoffs as the 6th seed, and we go to unbeatable Indianapolis. Remember that, Tim? And they didn't give us a chance to beat them at all. And lo and behold, not only do we beat Indianapolis, the number 1 seed, we run the table, and we end up in the Super Bowl, and then we get our 5th Super Bowl. Very similar. Indianapolis was unbeatable, putting up ridiculous points.
TJ, they're not very similar. TJ, that defense in 05 wasn't giving up 200 yards rushing in a game. They just weren't.
That's true.
That defense, even though that it was like that happened, you still didn't think, well, that defense you knew was pretty damn good. This defense, you're kind of like,
Yeah. But that Colts, they were unstoppable. They spanked us. They spanked that defense that game. It wasn't like a close game. They crushed us.
Yeah, but you knew deep down. You had some players on that defense. You had a lot of players on that defense.
You did.
And I don't know, man. The Chiefs. I get it. I know you're staring at it. That defense. They're not even in the same comparable breath as that 05 defense. It just isn't.
No, I agree. I think they've showed that they can show up when they need to, which I don't understand, but they do. So I don't know. So what do you think?
But when have they actually showed up? Let me ask you. When they've been getting gashed, TJ. It's not like the last 2 games they won. They have been just stuffing people. They've been getting gashed every game, and they come up with a play here or there. And TJ, I get it against the Browns because they suck. I get it against the Ravens because they suck. Kansas City can turn it over 3 times. And TJ, if you're kicking field goals off those 3 times, you're going to get beat by 17 points.
No, you're right.
Because Kansas City's going to.
We got to score touchdowns. Yeah, we do. Our offense has to come alive.
That team is not going to be. You're going to, just because you say you get 4 turnovers, say it happens against them, That's not going to make an automatic W unless you're scoring touchdowns off those turnovers.
No,
And
I agree.
they have yet to prove they can do that to all year. They just haven't.
So I think this. I think the obvious weakness we have in our team is the run game. Here's my question to you: do you think is Kansas City? I think Cleveland fell into this trap, and I think the Ravens fell into this trap too. I think they all do. Is everybody wants to throw the ball? I think if they stay on the ground, they probably beat us, but they don't. Do you think Kansas City is going to stay on the ground? Can they be disciplined enough to do that?
But let me throw. Okay, let me throw the opposite way. You're talking Cleveland and you're talking Baltimore.
Two of the best running football teams,
TJ,
in football,
And I
both
get
top
you.
five.
Top five, Russian, blah 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 blah. TJ, what's the common denominator of both those teams?
I mean,
Why do they have
stink.
to rush the ball?
Well,
Why do they have to
can't,
rush the
they
ball?
can't throw, yeah,
Why?
because their quarterbacks stink.
Exactly. Guess whose quarterback doesn't stink? Kansas City. So that's so TJ. It's a different beast with him. Yeah. Do I think they can run it? Yeah. But I think they can. If they give him Mahomes a pep time like they did last game, he was getting 10 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, and they still ran the ball. So I don't think it matters with them. What I think it matters is you're gonna have to get a fumble. You're gonna have to.
We need
You have to
turnovers.
get like 3 or 4.
We need 3
you're
or
gonna
4
have to-
turnovers.
You're going to have a special team splash play.
Yeah.
Your defense may have to score.
Yeah.
But again, if you get those, if you don't get any turnovers against these guys, they're gonna get drummed.
Yeah.
They're just gonna get. You got to get turnovers, but like I said, you have to score touchdowns. If you score field, you're done. And like I said, they could stick to the run. Would it be smart for them to stick to the run? Sure, but I don't think they want to do that because the more you're running, the more clock. It's a closer game. It's going to be at the end, just because time. If you're running the ball, and I have a feeling Kansas City's going to want to jump on us and then run because they know we can't come back. So it's one of those things where it's like, do you want to make that into a running game the whole entire game and make it a one-score game at the end of the game? When I don't think you need to with Kansas City.
I think, again, you put Ben in the 2-minute drill. I mean, we get drummed by the Chargers, but we made it close at the end because we start throwing the ball at the end. It'll be interesting to me. Let's talk a little bit about our offensive game plan. What do you think the offense has to do to win the game? I mean, obviously we got to score touchdowns.
You got to score. And yeah, you do have to run the ball, but to me too, it's one of those things where you got to have some explosive plays. So what do you have to lose? I'm not going to hate. Normally, it drives me nuts when it's a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 5 and Ben chucks the ball. This game, I think you got to do it a lot.
Yeah.
And hopefully Captain Fish comes down with some of these balls. You got to win some of these one-on-ones on the outside.
Yeah.
You have to, TJ. You have to. You got to hit some. If I'm going bombs away. And guess what? If it's 3rd and 5 and you throw a 40-yard pick, at this point, it's as good as a punter. Who cares?
Yeah,
because he stink. If they play, and I know he's having stuff with his dad, his grandmother passed away. TJ, he's just being outplayed by their dude. You can't play him because he theoretically he almost lost. If they would have lost that game last week, a lot would have been on his shoulders.
I think you let the other kid kick. Let the other kid kick, and then it is what it is. No, I agree. I think they got to throw the ball, and I think NAJEE's got to be part of the offense. He's a difference maker. Holy cow! I do like the line. I think the line's been better with this arrangement now. Ben looks like he's got a little bit more time to throw the ball. Just because you have more time, it takes you a little bit of opportunity to kind of feel the more time. And I'll tell you what, it does intrigue me, the possibility of getting JUJU back, like you said, for 10 or 15 snaps. Holy crap, that's a big deal because he is a safety blanket.
And to one of my other points was guys that were missing the last time we played Kansas City. Guess what? 53 is not playing. Guess what? One of their best players is their nose tackle. Guess what? We're going to have a center that actually block him.
Yep, you're right.
Should be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Should be a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's one big, huge factor on the offensive line. It's a ginormous factor because I believe it's 95 Chris Harris. Is that his name? For the Chiefs? I think that's what it is. He was killing us.
Yeah.
Because 53 is on skates. And guess what happened? He killed us. It made everybody on the outside kill. So they were getting a rush. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Najee took 3 steps. So having a center that's going to kind of push, and I think Dan Moore he practiced
Yeah, he did.
today.
He's been a full participant again. Yeah,
I think you're gonna have some. It's a good. That's a good thing. And you didn't have Firemouth last game either.
that's true.
That's a big, 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 big thing, dude.
That
Because that
is.
dude is. I think he's on the trajectory. If they get a quarterback here that's half decent, TJ, he's gonna be like a top 5 tight end like very soon in this league.
I agree. You know what's interesting too is they're working in that Raider kid too, man. He looks pretty good
He
too.
was that. That's not.
Or
Who's the guy
Gentry,
that's
excuse
giant?
me.
Gentry
Yeah,
is. That's the guy that always made fun of. I thought he was 100 pounds.
yeah.
He is. What did they feed him? Just steroids?
He's
Did they just
massive.
feed him? Did they just feed him pills of steroids
I
for
like what they're
3
doing
years?
with this two tight end set. It looks really good. These guys are kind of shifty. They're getting around in there too. Again, I'm with
TJ,
you.
when you got to
They
do
need
that,
somebody to take the top off.
6'8", when you got to do that 6'8", 270, yeah,
He's a
he's a
mismatch.
monster.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
mismatch. I agree. What do you think the defense needs to do to win?
You can't. It's tough because if I'm them, what do you have to lose? If you blitz Mahomes and you leave one-on-ones on the outside, it is what it is. Because if you're not getting home, you're screwed. But I think a lot of the
He'll
times they
pick
weren't
you
getting
apart.
home. I don't think they were getting home a lot last time because Wormley didn't play.
Yes.
TJ Watt had broken ribs.
Yep.
Um, it's pretty two pretty big things for us.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think Hayden played last time.
No, he didn't either. And you know what's funny too is, I mean, they got rid of Bugs, thank goodness. I got to tell you what, I think whatchamacallit's playing a whole lot better. The kid that Wormley, I think Wormley's playing.
Louderface,
Yeah, no, not
Louderface playing pretty
Louderface.
good.
He is. They're
Louderface,
both.
Buttermilk's playing pretty.
Those two guys are playing pretty well. I think they're starting to come on a little bit too. And I'll tell you what, Cam Hayward is a force.
He's incredible,
Yeah,
incredible.
he's a
man.
force. You know, I think our defense is playing a whole lot better. Like I said, I am nervous with our inside backers, especially covering Kelsey. You know, again, 34 is going to be he's going to have to come up big. But I do think our defensive backfield is pretty solid.
To me, it's one of those things where you gotta try to keep Mahomes in the pocket, but you gotta try to rush without. Yes, I say
Gotta stay in
blitzing,
your
but I don't know
lanes.
if you want. You gotta stay in your lanes, but if he's gonna get outside, you want to make him roll to the left, so he can't set his feet and throw the ball. He can do it from all angles, but I think he's way less dangerous going to his left than he is to his right.
Yeah.
You got it's like any quarterback, you got to hit him. Even if you got to hit him a little bit
Yeah.
to get him off his spots.
Yeah.
No quarterback, like, I don't care what quarterback they don't like getting hit. They
They don't,
don't.
you're right.
So you got to
It-
hit him a little bit early. I'd even take a 15-yarder. Really, somebody early in the game, just clock him to say, "Hey, hello, we're here." It ain't gonna be like it was last game where you're sitting back here, throwing out cupcakes to everybody. Hit them. Take a 15-yarder. Be like, okay, let's play ball, so everybody knows that this isn't the same squad that showed up last game.
No, I think you're right. So who's your offensive player to watch?
It's gonna be fishy, fish.
Okay.
1-1.
Yeah.
He had TJ. If he doesn't have a monster game catching balls on the outside, we're done.
Yeah.
I just think we're done. We have to get explosive plays out of Claypool. Have to.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Fryermuth. I think you're going to see Fryermuth. I think he's going to have. I'm going to say 8 catches.
I hope so. I think he's going to be locked up on their safety, their all-world safety. It's going to be pretty tough for him to kind of get loose. But like I said, it depends. To me, they win the game. They're going to have splash plays, and number 11 is their splash play person. He's got to stay on his feet and catch the ball.
Yeah, we need Deontay to catch the ball too. He's kind of taking a little step back over the last couple of weeks, but he'll bounce back. Who's your defensive player to watch?
Oh, it's TJ. TJ has to be a game wrecker. Like when I say game wrecker, I'm talking like three sacks. He has to be a monster.
Yeah,
If he's not a monster, we have no shot.
I think we're going to see Cam Hayward take over the game too. I think that he's going to come up big this game. It wouldn't surprise me though to see somebody like a Wormley or somebody like that. We need Wormley or Loudermilk to show up in order to keep that thing solid too. Again, we got to pray for our inside backers because they stink. So what's your score prediction, Tim?
I think it's going to be a closer game. Do I think the Steelers have enough to pull it out? I don't, dude. I mean, they're just I'm looking like I'm thinking maybe 23-17. I think it's gonna be a
Mhm.
very close game. I just I there has been nothing that has said to me that th- even to think, well, maybe I saw 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and there's nothing that's been consistent about this team besides their offense can't score points. And it's tough for me to pick a team that I know is not going to be able to score points with a guy that I know could go up and down the field in 90 seconds if he needs to. So I'm going to say
So
23-17 Chiefs.
I'm gonna go weird on this one because I think the Steelers are gonna score one defensive touchdown, and I think they're gonna surprise people. I think the Steelers are gonna win 31-21.
I hope so. I hope I'm completely wrong. I got this helmet that is just digging into my skin, in my cranium for one more week. And we go up to Tennessee. We take on King Henry and the crew. And guess what? If we do, they better do something about their run defense because it's coming.
I think you're ready for this. I think Ben's gonna throw 2 TDs. I think we're gonna run for one, and the defense is gonna have one, and we'll have a kick.
You got a direct line to the guy upstairs. So say,
I hope
him,
Jesus Christ doesn't look like that.
say,
Jesus
hey,
Christ looks
hey,
like he smokes Marlboros and he drinks
yes.
Budweiser. That guy right there.
Jesus Christ was a steel worker. He built America. Just that's.
All right.
So
Well,
I hope
Tim,
so. I mean, I hope.
we're in the playoffs. We get an extra week of football. Let's pray that everything goes well. Anything you want to add, Tim?
I got nothing, man. Like I said, I feel like I'm not like nervous. Like I was waiting. I was by this like last week. I was nervous. Like now, it's like it feels like I got nothing. You got nothing to lose. You're
That's
playing
right.
with house
We're loosey
money.
goosey. Ben's playing
It is what
loosey
it is.
goosey. It is.
I say
Could
that
be.
now, but it's gonna take me 3 minutes before I'm throwing f bombs at the screen Sunday night.
Tim, is going to be a good weekend. All right. Again, thank you for hanging out with the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear and see, pass along to all your friends and your neighbors. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
It's still number one out here, right? And guess what? Pens are a wagon right now. They're
They
a
are
wagon.
And Malkin is back.
Oh, 71, big Russian back.
Two goals the other night. Holy, every team needs a Russian, Tim.
Wagon.
See ya, Pittsburgh.